Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mid-Atlantic Bowling League's Chaos Cup week number 3. We're back for our second game in our doubleheader tonight, our third game of the day. And this matchup's going to be the Birds of a Feather versus the Fishy Fiends, Galeshi versus Ajax, Elven Union versus Chaos Renegades. Let's take a look at the Division A standings, and we'll talk about these two teams here. We're in Division A for this second game of our doubleheader this evening. The Fishy Fiends, Ajax's Chaos Renegades team, currently in first place, undefeated with a record of 2-0-0. They're looking to keep it that way here tonight. They're going to be up against Galeshi's the Birds of a Feather, an Elven Union team, also undefeated with a record of 1-1-0. They're currently in fourth place. BB Nuts Believe Broncos are in second place, a Nurgle team with 1-1-0 as their record, and Malik's Lizard Wizard Gizfest, a Norse team, they're in third place, 1-1-0 is their record. The home team this evening are going to be the Birds of a Feather, an Elven Union team, coming in with a TV of 885,000 gold. They're going to be down a player. Unfortunately, it's going to be one of their catchers that they're down. They're going to have to pick up a lineman as a journeyman. They're going to have 2 blitzers on the roster, a catcher, a thrower, and a bunch of linemen, 4 dedicated fans, and 2 rerolls. They're going to be up against the Fishy Fiends, the current first place team in Division A. Ajax's Chaos Renegade team coming in with an 10-player roster? What am I seeing? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 players on the roster. A TV of... So this TV calculation is really off. So 1,055,000... What is happening to my hand? Apparently I'm like digging into the mouse or something. Anyway, TV of 1,055,000 gold on this roster. Just 10 players on this roster. They'll have to pick up at least another lineman for 50k. It's going to bring them up to 110k. That's going to be 160,000 gold in petty cash that will be going to the Elven Union team this evening. That's going to change things a little bit. 3 big guys on this roster. They have an ogre, a red ogre, and a minotaur. They have an orc, a skaven, a dark elf, a bunch of linemen, and a goblin as well. 1 oppo, 3 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls as well for this Chaos Renegades team. How are these two teams going to play tonight? Let's take a look at the home team first. This Elven Union team, they are the passing elves, right? They don't have the 4 blitzers that a dark elf team has. They don't have the war dancers that a wood elf team has. What they have are up to 4 catchers on this roster. That's an MA8 catcher with a strength of 3. Absolutely fantastic. Has the catch skill and nerves of steel as well, so it doesn't matter whether they're marked or not. And nerves of steel doesn't just apply to catching. It applies to passing as well. So with Edge 2 across the board with elves, right? Even if it's not your thrower, a catcher could be a great passer. Does have the thrower, of course, with the pass skill, gets a free reroll on the pass. The Timber Doodle, number 10, the lineman with the wrestle skill, and the 2 blitzers, they have block and sidestep. It's unfortunate that this team is starting with just one of the 2 catchers. I think ultimately Galeshi's going to get up to 4 catchers on this team. They are a bit expensive at 100k a pop. Doesn't have as much of the passing game as you'd really want to have with an Elven Union team. But look, it doesn't matter. MA7 on the blitzers, MA8 on the catcher, adds 2+ across the board. They're going to do what elves do. They can score pretty much whenever they want. They have a good bit of speed on this team. They have decent AV. They're a little bit frail across the board, except for the blitzers. But really, it doesn't matter if they lose 2, 3, 4, or maybe even 5 players. They can score very easily. And Galeshi understands this and is going to lean into that and score when they can. If they're going to be on offense first, that's going to be a little bit of a tricky proposition, I think, for the Birds of a Feather. I think the Fishy Fiends are going to want the Birds of a Feather to start on offense first, because I think the name of the game for this Chaos Renegades team is going to be the 2-1 grind. And so I think what they're going to want to do... Where did they go? Here they are. I think what they're going to want to do, right? They're the bashy team in this matchup. They have a lot of strength. They have a lot of mighty blow, a lot of frenzy, right? They're rolling a lot of block dice, and they're reducing that frail 8+ to perhaps even 7+. So I think what they're going to want to do here tonight is lean into that a bit. If the Elven team starts on offense, that's good for the Fishy Fiends, because the Fishy Fiends will then be able to have an opportunity to control the momentum, try to force the early score. If they can force the early score and end the half at 1-1, they're in great shape. They have the strength advantage, they have the blocking advantage. They'll be able to stall this out in the second half of the game and wait and score their second touchdown on turn 16 and win. So again, the name of the game I think is going to be the 2-1 grind, where they give the Elves just one drive to have the ball, and they never give it back for the rest of the game. If the coin toss doesn't work out that way, then it's going to be a much more interesting game, I think, as the Elven team obviously can outpace this Chaos Renegade team, and if it's going to be like a score-off, then I think the Elves are going to have an advantage in that matchup. Both teams only have the 2 rerolls, and you'll have to watch out for these 3 big guys. While they have a strength of 5, 2 of them have Frenzy, they have Mighty Blow, and that's great. They also have Loner, so if something goes awry, it could be a big problem for the Fishy Fiends. Now the Rat Ogre, their nega trait is Animal Savagery, so long as there's a friendly next to this Rat Ogre will always get to activate. It's Strength 5 with Frenzy and Mighty Blow. That is a devastating combination against a weaker team like an Elf team. This could start removing players very, very quickly. Frenzy also means that the Fishy Fiends are able to pull players out of position more against this Wood Elf team, where they don't have a speed advantage. They certainly don't have the edge advantage. They're going to have to try to screen these Elves out as much as possible. That can be a little tricky to do with these Frenzy players. We'll probably see them put in the as a linebacker on defense. On offense, they're probably going to be put up on the line and start mauling people ASAP, trying to control center pitch. But it's going to be tricky. I think it really comes down to that coin toss, and we'll see if the Elves go first or second in the first half of the game. 2 rerolls means that both teams are going to have to be very, very careful, and the action order is going to be very, very critical. More critical for this Chaos Renegades team than the Elven team, in my opinion, just because there's more that can go wrong on this Chaos Renegades team. We haven't even talked about animosity. If this Chaos Renegade team has the ball in one of these in the hands of one of these positionals, they hate each other. So if they have to pitch that ball to someone else, whether that's a pass or a handoff, on a 1, they're just not going to do it. All right, I'm going to stop jabbering. We're going to get this second game, third game of the day, really, underway here. Second game of our doubleheader. This is in Division A. Whoever wins tonight will be in first place in Division A. Here we go. Oh, we didn't even talk about the inducement phase. 160K? I think that's a wizard, honestly. I thought maybe it would be an extra reroll, seeing as the Elves are only have the 2 rerolls. They probably want to be at 3, but it might just be a wizard at 160K. The wizard could be a huge boon for this team, for any team, really. Just the threat of the wizard makes your opponent have to play differently. The Chaos Renegades team, if they're going to cage up, they're going to think twice about having a tight cage if there's a wizard in play. Helmet Wolf, one of the coaches tonight. We saw him play very briefly earlier this evening. Oh, look at those shoes! Did you see those shoes? Oh my goodness! $10 total fan factor for this evening's game. $60K. Why is it only $60K? I have no idea why it's only $60K, but it's gonna be a keg, and I think that's fair. Here's the coin toss. Oh, I went in the opposite direction, didn't I? Instead of 50 plus 110, it was 110 minus 50. Whoa! What just happened? What is going on? What is that? All right. So the Birds of a Feather choose to kick the ball. So the Birds of a Feather are going to be on defense first, and I think that's precisely what they want to do here. Not only is this going to try to stop the 2-1 grind attempt, This is also the one opportunity where they're guaranteed to have all 11 players on the pitch. It is almost certainly not going to be the case as the game progresses. Anchor formation currently for the Birds of a Feather. SP Beaver says, we just saw a halfling team kill a halfling team. I believe we can have a Bashy Elf team. Journeyman as the nose tackle on this defense naturally. All right, anchor defense set up for the Elven team. The Fishy Fiends to set up their offense. Chaos Renegades identified by these 3 big guys they can have on their roster out of a choice of 4. They can select 3. They have the Human Ogre, the Rat Ogre, and the Minotaur. The Human Ogre can go boneheaded. The Rat Ogre has Animal Savagery. They are not going to activate if they fail their die roll, unless they have a friendly next to them. They'll beat up on that frenzy, and then they can activate, making them very reliable. And then, of course, the Minotaur here with Unchanneled Fury. They want to be blocking or blitzing in order to make that Negatrait die roll a 2+, otherwise it's going to be a 4+. It can be very tricky if this Minotaur gets out of position to reposition the Minotaur, seeing as it would be a 50-50 Unchanneled Fury roll every turn to just reposition. So if you're real careful where this Minotaur goes, you want them to always be blocking or blitzing if you need to reposition them. Six on the line, 2 of them big guys. Currently, Darth Pointy Pony back to receive. Here's the kick. Deep kick, and I think the weather has remained the same. That is, kicked all the way in the corner. It's going to scatter out to the 24-yard line. Turn 1 now for the Fishy Fiends. Oh my goodness gracious! What a start to this game! Trip skulls by the ogre. Oh, woo! Oh boy! First block of the game. Triple skulls by the ogre. Says, you know what? I know when Nuffle's telling me something. Just gonna let that slide. The ogre broke armor as well and is stunned. Turn 1 now for the Birds of a Feather. The Horned Screamer, the number 9 lineman, applying pressure on the ball now. Moop says Festoon getting revenge on the pitch against Ajax after last week's game. Look at those shoes! My God! Look at that! That's amazing! I want those! Electric Man says that's the same ogre that refused to score. Indeed it is. Festoon the Barnacled. SB Beaver says, we need the ref to check this, but its wings cannot be illegal. They are legal. They're absolutely legal. A6 says, he be zooming. He is. Look at him go. Look at him go. I would love those shoes, although I imagine inevitably they catch your ankles on fire. He had Red Bull. Did he? Dude, I blitz on Murghul the Mad. Gets a dodge push, or gets a knockdown out of this, doesn't he? Wait, he took the dodge push. Could have had the knockdown, but pushed anyway. Wanted to mark the right side of this cage. And now the 2-die block against Filbert gets a push out of this. Birds of a Feather on the bonus clock here in turn number 1. Trying to figure out what to do with the rest of the line. 2 players on the line left to activate. Magpie, the number 6 lineman's the left defensive tackle. Left defensive end. Takes a 1-die block. Got the pow on Fatal... I was going to say Fatal Fury. Fatal Melody. And now 1-die block with Ideal Ryan? Idelrian? Ideal Lyran? That guy. Real Skull gets stunned. Turn 2 now for the Fishy Fiends. I've rediscovered my love. I've always loved SNK games, but I've recently rediscovered my love for King of Fighters. I've been playing a lot of King of Fighters 15. Played a little bit of the City of the Wolves beta as well. Looking forward to it, provided the SNK ever figures out how the internet works. Oh, failed the 2+ pickup here. Oh, ooh, spent a reroll. Had to, really, with the threat of the number 4 catcher. And now the Fishy Fiends down to 1 reroll. Two-die blitz by the Minotaur. Gets a push on the Horn Screamer. We'll get a frenzy follow-up out of this. Another 3-die block. Gets a pal. Looking for an 7+. There it is. Well done. Menacing, menacing big guys. One-man player advantage now for the Fishy Fiends. My favorite, absolute favorite fighting game is Samurai Showdown. I've been playing a little bit of Sam Show. But my favorite sort of... So if you don't play fighting games, this won't mean much. Ooh, got a stun out of this. I would say Sam Show is like an outlier. Like, it doesn't play like other games. It's purely fundamentals. So if we just ignore Sam Show, or like, what is a quote-unquote normal fighting game? I really like Killer Instinct. I've been playing that ever since it came out. I'm so sad that we haven't seen like a follow-up to Killer Instinct 2013, because that game is so good. Killer Instinct is my favorite Street Fighter, is what I like to say. Two-die block gets a push here against the Golden Eagle. He'll sidestep forward. Sidestep means that he doesn't have to get pushed back. He can be pushed anywhere, and it's going to be the Golden Eagle who decides where he goes. Turn 2 back to the Birds of a Feather. And my favorite part of fighting games is what's called neutral. That's where, if you imagine like when a round starts and you're standing at a certain point on the stage and your opponent's starting at another point of the stage, the gameplay at when that is the game state, that's my favorite part. So I'm not so much about like high execution or memorizing different combo routes or stuff. I like the neutral. I like the nooch, and that's all Samurai Showdown is. So I really like that game. Birds of a feather here on turn 2. Got some pressure on the ball carrier here. They have Starling, number 8 lineman, off to the left side. Could certainly take a 1-die blitz. Hazing says, I like putting my opponent in the corner with Armika to each their own. To each their own, yeah. I mean that's something that's great about fighting games that I think Blood Bowl shares a lot of the same DNA with, right? There's lots of different teams, lots of different characters in a fighting game that play all differently, and there's all sorts of play styles. I like zoners. I'm very sad that zoners don't exist so much anymore, but I very much like, you know, there's a narrow band where I need to be as effective as I can, and if I am being as effective as I can, you are going to be very sad because you can't get in. That makes me very happy. Blitz by the Golden Eagle, and now more pressure applied on this ball. Favorite Street Fighter. I wouldn't have said it at the time. Like when Street Fighter 3 came out, Next Generation, we hated it. we hated it. It was so weird and dumb. I mean, it's not. I mean, it is dumb. But there were 2 iterations of it, and then Third Strike came out. I liked it a whole lot more, but I like it even more now than I did when it was in arcades. And I like it because I think in retrospect. Or not even in retrospect, but a lot of fighting games today are very, very offense heavy. Good armor break here. Gets a stun on Fatal Melody. And I like games with lots of defensive options. And Third Strike is a game where nothing is safe. There's a concept called a parry. And if you press a button, there is no guarantee that it's safe to press that button. Often in fighting games, you'll hear people say, like, it's my turn or it's your turn. You just kind of have to know when like a string stops or like when you know a block string's over, when you have frame advantage. Everything's based on frames of animation. But anyway, that's not true in Third Strike. In Third Strike, you can parry everything, and you can even parry things while blocking. It is awesome. Fail a dodge out in the right. What? No! Is that how those shoes work? Look at these shoes! Look at these shoes! Look! Turn 3 for the Fishy Fiends. Oh, that's awesome. So the catcher dashes back behind the line of scrimmage. Turn 3 for the Fishy Fiends. Declaring a handoff here. Are they going to hand off, though? Yeah, so that handoff declaration, probably a UI option there just to make sure he doesn't forget to do it. Moves the ball up to the 10-yard line in the right wide zone. Such a cool kid. That's right. That's right. Cobblestorm says, moving your legs for amateurs. Oh, you move your legs when you run? Oh, cute. The number 2 ogre is going to stand up and reposition. 3 to stand up, 2 MA to move. I'm getting some stuttering here, and that's because of the memory leak. I have to figure out where that's coming from. "35 seconds left in the turn." Failed the animal savagery roll here. He's got somebody to beat up on. That's going to be Filbert, so keeps the blitz. 2-die blitz against the Woodpecker. Gets the knockdown here. Has to follow up due to Frenzy. Breaks armor. Gets the KO. Well done. 2-man player advantage now for the Fishy Fiends. Birds of a feather on turn 3. They've applied some pressure on this ball. A tight cage is formed around the ball carrier now. A couple of players behind the ball carrier. Doesn't mean they're out of the drive. They can apply some pressure. With this defense, look at their positioning, right? Here, here, and here. Not in the ideal position, but they're very fast. They can get back into position, no problem. We'll have to cover the right wide zone, but also center pitch here as well. Taking a mark on number 7, betraying the fact that the blitz will come on number 7, it seems. Number 6, Magpie is going to move back across the line of scrimmage, play some defense. The thrower moves forward, gets in front of the cage. Very scary spot for that thrower. Yeah, you can see Galeshi realizes the mistake there. It's like, oh, the Minotaur's there. Never mind. BB Nut says, I think they're blitzing the Goblin. Well done. Yeah, indeed they are. So took the mark. I get it. I know this is an uphill block, but oh, it scares me. It scares me. Takes the blitz on the Goblin. Only gets a push out of it. Follows up to mark the ball carrier. 3+ dodge by Condor, the Condor. So leaving a number of blocks on, to the opposing team here. You know what, in retrospect, this isn't so bad. So sure, it's an uphill block, but considering one has block and one has wrestle, I think this is a pretty smart mark here on Galeshi's part. Minute to go here in turn 4 for the Fishy Fiends. They have 1 reroll left for the half. 2-die block on number 2. Got the pal. So that's the first block done. Golden Eagle will get the sidestep here. Galeshi deciding where this blitzer is going to end up. Decides to push straight back. Doesn't want to get in the middle of all these opposing players. Stays on the pitch. Murghul the Mad stands up. Bad luck moves back to cover the spot vacated by the Minotaur. 3-die blitz by the Minotaur. Get the pow out of this. No armor break though. And then continues moving to Mark, the number 4 catcher. Says, you can't get away from me. And now a decent screen. You can see, look at this pitch control. Look at this pitch control. Has a decent pocket here for the ball carrier. Now has the ball all the way up on the Fiends' own 2-yard line. Over in the right wide zone, just off the right sideline. BB Nut says, now if this was me, I'd try to surf the Minotaur. Turn 4, final turn of the first quarter coming up. The Birds of a Feather with 2 rerolls remaining. They're on defense. About half the team behind the ball currently. Repositions the number 6 lineman Magpie to get in front of this cage, or get in front of the ball carrier, I should say. Lots and lots of strength between the ball carrier and the defensive secondary currently. Two seconds left in the first quarter. Birds of a Feather trying to figure out how they're going to get at this ball carrier, or if not, how to reposition their defense. It's an assist against number 11, way back behind the ball carrier. 2-dive block, gets the pal, looking for a 9+ here. Got it. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to injure you. Just a smidge. A tiny bit. Gets the surf here on the Goblin. Well done. Got the removal and the surf on the Goblin. Two removals this turn. Very well done. Very well done. It's now 9v9 on the pitch. Right in the face. Has anybody checked like the rules, like Knuffles' original game? Like, why are those legal but a chainsaw's not? Lots of time being eaten up here on the bonus clock here by the Birds of a Feather. They're down to 3 minutes 13 seconds on the clock. That's what it's there for. It's there to spend. Resources are there to spend. You know, you often see sort of a mistake that you know, RPG players will make, where they'll just gather resources and then never use it. They've effectively just made the game harder for themselves. Failed the dodge here by the thrower. Thrower's going to remain on the pitch. That's a turnover. Second quarter begins. It's made. You'll see this time and again with like JRPG reviews. Like there are certain series that are sort of balanced around that, and players that refuse to use resources, they just hoard them, they find the game impossible, and then they rate it poorly because they're like, oh, this game's too hard. Well, you're not you're not using everything in your toolkit. Moves the ball back to center. Pitcher is now on the opposing 8-yard line. Clear skies ahead. Elder Bruno says those Pro Elf blitzers are so great with sidestep. They are. They really are. Sidestep is a great skill. I think it's a underappreciated skill by some. Move says, hey, you might need those resources. I know it's the final boss of the game, but who knows? Maybe there's another final boss where you need them. I mean, that's kind of fair. Until you start getting into like, yeah, I've got I've got 937 health potions. Okay. Hoard all the things. Dude, I blitz by the Minotaur. Each time that Minotaur blocks or blitz is the Negatrait rolls a 2+ instead of a 4+. Got an armor break out of this and a stun. This is a good stun. Has to follow up due to Frenzy. Now, he's able to get in front of the ball carrier. Very well done. Keeping these big guys on the cage. Wow. Wow. Fails the 3+ dodge on the sideline. We'll just let that rock. That'll be a turnover. Turn 5 now to the Birds of a Feather. We're finding the entire team kind of out of position here. They're off to the right side of the pitch. Stop a rocket in my chair. My foot leaves the foot pedal whenever I rock backwards. Minute 20 on the clock here. Birds of a Feather on defense. You can see where all the players are, right? They're over on this side. I mean, all this pitch is free and clear currently for the offense. Now, a number of players can reposition in front of the offense, but the problem is when you're at center pitch, or the problem for a defense is when the offense is at center pitch, they have tons of options. They can move here, they can move here, they can move here, they can move here, they can move here. They can even retreat if they wish, right? So you give them all the options in the world, and it means that they have an option that's safe. It might not be optimal, but it's always safe. If you can start to chip away at their options, then it becomes much more difficult for them to move the ball, and gives you an opportunity to get at the ball. Got a little aggressive here to start with, didn't quite work out, and the high strength plus frenzy really of this Chaos Renegades team has been able to open up the holes and move this ball down pitch. Blitz by the Golden Eagle. And that's going to get a mark on the ball carrier currently. Birds of a Feather back on the bonus clock. 2 minutes, 47 seconds left on the clock for the game. Double skulls on the block. Spends the reroll. Gets a foul here against Bad Luck. And that's a great spend as it's another removal. Well done. So now back up to a one-man player advantage for the Birds of a Feather. Elder Moreno says, with relatively low AV of the Elf lineman, is it still worth trying to steer the big guys away with careful marks? I suppose there's opinions on that. I would say no. I would just want to hold them to a blitz. I don't want to give them any blocks, especially when you're talking about them probably getting 6 dice with Frenzy or 4 dice with Frenzy and Mighty Blow. Under a minute 30 seconds left in turn 6 for the Fishy Fiends. Looks like they're going to move back into the in the right wide zone here. Gonna advance this ball. Looks to be to the 14-yard line. There it is. Moves the ball up to the 14, back into the right wide zone. So nobody's next to the Rat Ogre here. Now the blitz gets the POW out of this. On the Golden Eagle, looking for an 8+ to break armor, but doesn't get it. Three plus dodge to try to get somebody next to the Rat Ogre. Fails to dodge. Are they going to spend the reroll? They do. There it is. And now the Rat Ogre will get to activate. Guaranteed. Didn't need it. Didn't even need it. No biggie. No biggie. The Rat Ogre moves down pitch to Mark Magpie, the number 6 lineman. Turn 6 now for the Birds of a Feather. Not sure what Galeshi's going to do to try to stop this score. I suppose Condor the Condor can get into position, but can't really stop anything. I mean, I suppose I suppose I could try to block down Filbert. Birds of a Feather do have a reroll available. Oh, Isaac, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you very much for the kind words. See you next time. Thanks again. Thanks for watching and sharing and enjoying some Blood Bowl with us. So there's... Oh, not going to try to block down Filbert. Going to go for the 50-50 dodge instead. Tried to blitz the ball carrier. Failed the dodge. Turn 7 for the Fishy Fiends now. I think this might give them an opportunity to stall this out till turn 8. Takes a mark on Magpie. Currently a 2-die block on Magpie. And now that's a 3-die block on Magpie. 3-die block, guaranteed block with the Rat Ogre. He's going to reposition the ball carrier. Try to stall this out till turn 8. Back to center pitch on the 24-yard line. Getting that protective screen on the ball carrier first before taking this block. Fill the corner that would be vacated by the Rat Ogre. Failed the Animal Savagery roll. Or succeeded on the Animal Savagery roll, excuse me. 3-die follow-up on the block. See, this is why Frenzy on a high-strength player is so dangerous. 6 dice to guarantee that knockdown and Mighty Blow on your fragile player. That's another removal. And great presence of mind to reposition the blitzer here. 2-die blitz, 2-die block on Finch. Double pals. Needs an 8+ to break armor and does it again. Gets another removal. Well done. And now it's a 1-man player advantage in favor of the Fishy Fiends. 2-die block on the thrower. This is not going to work out. Decent, I was going to say it's a decent trade opportunity, and again works out. Another removal, 2-man player advantage. We'll see if this will stick for the second half of the game. Turn 7 for the Birds of a Feather. They're down 5 players. Took the trade there, didn't have an armor advantage. Oh, had a 1-point armor advantage, I think. Yeah. But 9+ is average armor. Had to try something, failed to dodge. Prehensile tail makes that a -1. That's a big tail to try to dodge away from. There's the score. Very well done by the Fishy Fiends. How many KOs came back? Was it 2? Yeah, 2 KOs came back. 3 KOs came back. 2 KOs came back. We'll have another opportunity to get back those remaining 2 at the beginning of the second half. 1 turn remaining in this half unless there is a timeout. And if there is, we might see a 1-1 ball game before the half is over. El Marino, gang foul the Minotaur. Think like snotlings. All 3 big guys on the line for the Fishy Fiends. Birds of a Feather don't want to tangle with that. They'll probably have 1 player tied up with a big guy. Putting players up on the line of scrimmage just in case we get a timeout here. Yeah, there's 1 person. 1 person tangling with the big guys. Will probably be a 2+ dodge away. It's going to depend on how this plays out. If there is a... Oh, he's putting 3 on the line. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. If there is a timeout. Just trying to keep them out of the drive. Eight on the line. Nobody back to receive. All right, here's the kick. Here's the kick. Not hoping for the timeout. Weather's going to stay the same, I think. Yep. Weather stays the same. Ball kicked on the left sideline. Probably going to leave that ball alone and try to get some removals here. We'll see what happens. Turn 8. Final turn of the first half. Birds of a Feather, they're down 0-1. They have the final turn of this half to play. They'll be on offense to start the second half. 2-die blitz on the Skaven player. Gets the knockdown. Looking for an 8+ here. Got the armor break. Only got a stun out of it. Took the uphill block on the Minotaur. Oh, got KO'd for the, oh boy, for the effort. We'll see if he'll come back on the pitch. That's the turnover. 1-0 the score. The Fishy Fiends will be on defense to start the second half. Oh, did he not come back? He did not come back. Big loss there on that. Took a risk on the uphill block. And the Harpy Eagle will not be on the pitch to start the second half. Boy, all 3 had 2 KOs. BB Nuts has brutal KO rolls. Yeah, had two knocked out players. Didn't get them back. Had the blitzer knocked out on the uphill block. Didn't get him back either. Oh, difficult position for the Birds of a Feather to be in here to start the second half. It'll be a 3-man player advantage for the Fiends. And they're in the lead. So granted, we're talking about strength 5, but this setup here, right, 3 on the line here, we have a linebacker here and a linebacker here, that prevents the assist, that prevents an extra assist from coming in on the sides here of the line. BB says DACA. I don't see what else you do here. So if you're unfamiliar, DACA refers to taking this ball and moving this way. Moving this way. And if you have a speed advantage that allows you to engage down here, this wastes a little bit of time without... Oh, boy. Allows you to waste a little bit of time without having to eat some blocks along the way like you would if you were pushing down pitch. Shallow kick here on the blitz. The Fishy Fiends probably trying to get under this ball here. 4 unmarked players to move. Yep, there's one. Fatal Melody on the right side of the ball where it's kicked. The Skaven double time Skitterwake can get under the ball as well. Probably trying to decide where the blitz is going to be. Takes a mark on the outside of the offensive line here, and here's that blitz. 2-die blitz. Got a pal on the number 3 journeyman. So it'll be a chain push. We'll see where he chain pushes to. Good luck, journeyman. Good luck, buddy. Follows up, takes a mark on number 6. Oh, failed the catch. That was a 50-50 catch. Failed the catch. But still has 2 players marking the ball here. Turn 9 now for Birds of a Feather. Boy, what a rough position to be here in turn 9. Didn't get back any of their 3 knocked out players. Had a blitz where the number 3 journeyman here is pretty much out of commission. And now two opposing players marking the ball already, and you didn't even get to take a turn yet. Blitz almost certainly by the blitzer, the Golden Eagle. Here he is, comes around the left side. 2-die block on the Skaven player. Gets up out here looking for an 8+. Chain push the other player out of the way. Very well done. Really excellent positioning here. So you put a player here, you put a player here. There's an opposing player here, an opposing player here. Comes in on the blitz. That's going to force this player into a chain push situation because there's nowhere he can go. So he chain pushes into the other opposing player, knocks that player out here. That player is marked by these players, as is this player. 2 players still remain marked. Good recovery by the blitzer. Ball in the hands of the Golden Eagle. Number 2 blitzer. MA of 7 has the block skill. So the both down result will not affect him. Three plus dodge on the foul. Trying to get that Skaven player out of the game. But got nothing out of it. Didn't get called off the pitch either. Fishy Fiends on turn 9 now. 3-die block on that poor journeyman. He's going to get knocked down once more. Armor broken by Festoon, the Barnacled. That's not him at all. That's the wrong guy. All three big guys tied up on the line. Well, not really tied up per se. Still has a blitz. Yeah, there's a blitz with the Minotaur. 3-die blitz. We'll get the knockdown here against the Timberdoodle. Has to follow up due to Frenzy, getting in on the scrum. Now the Rat Ogre takes a mark on the ball carrier. Ajax doing a great job with this Chaos Renegades team. Really leveraging these big guys, understanding that they're a big part of the game, and able to get them exactly where he needs them to be, where he wants them to be. Not allowing them to get locked down and taken out of the drive. I think Galeshi is hoping these Negatrait die rolls would fail more than they are. Ball currently marked by the Rat Ogre. Remember, the Rat Ogre has that prehensile tail. It's going to be a -1 on a dodge. Under a minute to play here for this Pro Elf team. They're trying to figure out how they get this ball down pitch safely with so few players on the pitch. They have just seven remaining on the pitch. $20 seconds to go. 2 minutes, 7 seconds left on the bonus clock. They have all three rerolls. They take the 1-die block on number 12. That is not going to do it. A reroll has to be spent here. They'll get the knockdown now. Ooh, good armor break. Oh, you don't live after being hit with those shoes. Are you kidding me? Good removal. You got hit with pure energy. But like, really high velocity energy. Like this is very radioactive. 2-die block on number 7. Gets the knockdown thanks to the block skill here. Two-die blitz, I should say. Really wanted the follow-up. Yeah, failed the roll there. Really wanted to get the follow-up, no matter what it was. Has to spend another reroll to get this ball to some semblance of safety. Gets the assist with the ball carrier with the 2-die block on Murghul the Mad. Breaks armor again. Gets another removal. Well done. Well done. I think this was time well spent on this turn. Good 3+ dodge by Starling, the rookie lineman. Moves back across the line of scrimmage. Rushes back one more space. Turn 10 now for the Fishy Fiends. Elden Marina says, yeah, wow, that's a lot of bonus clock used. Yeah, but I think that was a great turn for Gillespie. Gillespie took the time. I mean, that's what the clock's there for. Gillespie took that time to try to figure out the best way to try to keep this ball carrier safe. And now it's up to Ajax to get another mark on this ball carrier. Clock ticking down. Now it's Ajax who's pondering the game state, trying to figure out where they want to be. They have a 1-0 lead with this. If this elf is allowed to break away, that won't be a lead any longer. 3-die block on the Timber Doodle is going to be a push. Frenzy follow-up here. 2-die Frenzy follow-up gets the knockdown. Looking for a 7+ with Mighty Blow. There it is. Good stun here by the Fiends. There's so few players left for this pro-off team that every player that gets stunned and left behind, that's one less player they have to worry about. Yeah, the Fiends have to worry about, that is. Failed the Animal Savagery roll with the Ravager. Has to knock down number 6. No armor break, but we'll get the reposition. Positions next to Magpie. And two rushes into position to get that mark on the ball carrier. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz. Gets a push out of it unless the reroll is spent. We'll use the team reroll. Got the pal he was looking for. Get a 9+. Probably sidestep to the left. Because that's where the ball scattering might have the most avid. Yeah, I think that's the best you can hope for. But now there's a mark on. Now there's an opposing mark on the ball. Now the Birds of a Feather will have to fight for this ball once more. Birds of a Feather have just 54 seconds left on the bonus clock. That means 1 minute, 40 seconds, plus another 54. One reroll remaining for the game. Seven players on the pitch. One is stunned. I wish Death Stranding would let me listen to the music. Like, there's a lot of like licensed music in the game, but it doesn't like let you listen to it unless you're like in like a facility in the game, or like somebody builds like a music player. So like you'll have this music that comes on and it's pretty cool, and then the nuclear ghosts will appear, and then the music stops and it's like, oh man. 3+ dodge on the pickup. 6 on the pickup. Good pickup. And a pow on the blitz. You can't ask for better than this. The Golden Eagle, the hero. Wow. Moves to center pitch. Dodge, pickup, blitz, rush. He does it all. Ain't no thing when you roll 6s. $37 left on the bonus clock. Turn 11 for the Fishy Fiends. Galeshi gets the ball out to the left, sets up a screen between the entire defense. This looks like a horoscope symbol or something. BBNet says, go, go, Elvin Union. SP Beaver says, that's the first lesson of Blood Bowl 101. Just roll 6s. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Festoon the Barnacles. Take a mark on number 6. Two marks on number 6 now. Double time skitter wake. The number 7 Skaven moves back down pitch in the right wide zone. 3-die blitz by the Rat Ogre. Gets a knockdown here. Might take the push. We'll see. No, he's going to take the knockdown. Breaks armor. Sorry, fella. Sorry, fella. Thought he might take the push to get another space of movement out of it. But we'll get the removal here. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter if you're blitzing. You just get the removal and then keep moving. That's exactly what he did with the Rat Ogre. Takes a mark on the ball carrier once more. That ball carrier yet again marked by this Rat Ogre with the prehensile tail. Now looking to dodge one space back. That's one less space of forward movement he gets. Turn 12 now for the Birds of a Feather. Fighting to stay alive in this game. They're down to 6 players on the pitch. Six v 8, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8. 6v8 on the pitch. So a 2-man player advantage for the Fiends. Hands off to Condor. Condor, the Condor. Doesn't matter if you're marked. It's just a catch roll. Doesn't matter if the person handing off is marked, that is. It's just a catch roll. And now the catcher, the fastest player on this team, in possession of the ball. This is a catcher that does not lose a point of strength. This is a strength 3 catcher. Only a 1 in 36 chance that they wouldn't have caught that handoff. There he goes. There he goes with his lightning shoes. Rushes down the left sideline. Oh boy. All right, Condor, it's up to you, buddy. Believe it or not, he's walking on air. He never thought he could be so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just Condor. 2-die blitz on Nutters the Brine. Gets a knockdown here. Moom says the sideline without sidestep is a bold choice. Yeah, that's just... Well, you say bold, I say faith in Nuffle is what I say. Like, you have to have true faith in Nuffle. You have to know. You have to know how Nuffle will react in order to earn Nuffle's favor. 10 seconds left on the bonus clock for the Birds of a Feather. 2-die block against Filbert. Gets a push here. 2 seconds. That is it. Turn 12 to the Fishy Fiends. A surf opportunity on the ball carrier. They're going to take a mark on the number 3 Journeyman. Double time skitter wake. Comes back to play defense. It takes a rush to do the actual block. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, one rush to do it. We all know GFI's rushes fail 900% of the time. That's true. That's very true. That's just fact. That's science. That's math. Here's the blitz. Rush works. Here's the roll to skull. Needs the reroll. Nuffle provides. Nuffle provides. Faith in Nuffle. Birds of a feather are going to get on the board here. 1-1 the score. A well-deserved backflip. SP Beaver, thank you very much for the bits. It was the shoes. Birds of a feather to set up their defense. They have just 7. But now they're going to have to defend for an entire quarter to not lose this game. BB Nut says Ajax is going to be a little tilted now, knowing him. Believe in Nuffle. Just 7 on the pitch for this Elven team. Nine v7 on the pitch. 2-man player advantage for the Fishy Fiends. They have no rerolls remaining. SP Beaver says, I'm pretty sure Blood Bowl was created to tilt people. Three on the line for the defense. 5 on the line for the offense. Darth Pointy Pony back to receive this ball. Fastest player on this roster with it. No. Skaven player is the fastest player on the roster, but does have the dodge skill, so makes him a little more resilient. Here's the kick. I think the Birds of a Feather want a timeout here. They get a blitz. They get a blitz, so blitz for blitz. Are they going to try anything with this blitz? Definitely try to block someone down, but I don't know if they're going to really go after this ball or not. Two-die blitz against Nutters the Brine. Gets a knockdown here with the Golden Eagle. Why no knockdown? Is he actually going to dodge away? Two plus dodge with Condor. Doesn't work out. Roll to 1, turn 13 for the Fishy Fiends. They have 4 turns to win this game. They have no rerolls. And now Condor out of position. Ball almost certainly moving to the left. 3-die block by Festoon the Barnacle. Breaks armor. Has not been boneheaded all game long. Gets a removal. Well done. Moves the number 4 journeyman Filbert back to mark the ball. Yeah, marking out that catcher. That catcher now marked on either side. It means there's no positive dodge away for the catcher at this point. 2+ pickup works out, and there that ball goes to the left side. Hands off to double time skitter wake. And you can see the screen set up on the left side of the pitch here. Two-die block by Sargassum the Foul. Gets a knockdown, has to follow up due to frenzy. Like tuck this ball right away in this cage here. Fails the Unchanneled Fury roll. Succeeds the Unchanneled Fury roll. Didn't fail. Frenzy follow-up, another 3-die block. Doing a really great job with these big guys. I have to say, this is one of the best Chaos Renegades play I've seen in a while. You have Strength 5. It means if you play your cards right, you can get a 3-die block out of that. With Frenzy, that's 6 dice. And then you got Mighty Blow on top of it. Doing a real good job getting the players into position to always activate the Rat Ogre, making sure the Minotaur is always blitzing. Just really doing a great job with this Renegades team. And there that ball goes down the left side. Double time skitter wake on the opposing 10-yard line, just off the left sideline. Fail dodge the turnover. Turn 14 for the Birds of a Feather. Oh boy. They fought so hard to get on the board. Now what are they going to do to try to stop this score? Ball carrier is in scoring position currently. It's 1 rush to get into the end zone. I think it's just going to have to be the 1-die blitz. There it is, 1-die blitz. That's not going to cut it. Takes the both. Well, I guess it kind of cuts it. Doesn't work out on the trade, though. Got knocked out for their trouble. So didn't try to dodge away Condor or resituate Condor. Went for the blitz from the side instead of the front. Didn't work out on the trade here after on the both down result. And now double time Skitterway is going to get an opportunity to recover this ball. Can't score this turn, but that's probably A-OK by Ajax. Well, maybe not A-OK. There's no reroll left for the team. Stands up number 7. Not going for the pickup with number 7. Going to go with the pickup with the Dark Elf instead. Good play there. The Dark Elf with the edge too. No rerolls remaining. Wanted to make sure that pickup was as safe as possible. Gets it in the hands of Darth Pointy Pony. And now blocking players out of the drive. Die blitz on Finch. Gets a foul, breaks armor, gets another KO. Oh boy. What's that? Is that 4 elves left on the pitch? 1, 2, 3, 4 elves left on the pitch. Yeah, it has to mark the blitzer. The blitzer is the only real threat. Gets that protection on the right side here. Now, nobody can reasonably get at the ball carrier, but the Fishy Fiend, I'm sorry, the Birds of a Feather are going to have to do something. Can't score next turn. We'll see what they decide to do. Condor, the Condor. The number 4 catcher. Behind the cage. Not quite in position. Will probably get left behind. Birds of a Feather are hoping these big guy rolls are going to go very wrong next turn. 1-die blitz. On the skating player, rolled a skull. Needs to spend this final re-roll. Gets the knockdown here. Will mark the ball carrier. And the ball carrier marked by a block piece. A block sidestep piece, no less. Failed the rush. Failed the rush. Tried to get another mark here. Failed and got knocked out. So the Timberdoodle out for the rest of the game here. Not knocked out, stunned. Stunned for the rest of the game. Turn 15 for the Fishy Fiends. Failed. Oh! Failed the dodge, rolled snake eyes on the dodge. Holy moly. Had the free reroll with the dodge skill. 1 in 36 chance of that failing. And indeed it did. 4+ pickup works out for the Birds of a Feather. Boy. And they're going to get this ball all the way to safety so that there is no chance this Renegades team is going to be able to score. This is going to end in a 1-1 ball game. My goodness, what a hard-fought game by both coaches. Galeshi, down so many players going into the second half of this game, was able to tie the ball game up and stop the score. Wow. Final turn of the ball game, nothing to do but pick up some SPP. SP Beaver says I need to review this game to teach my elves a thing or two. So that ogre has been clear-headed all game long. 3-die block by Sargason the Fowl on the right side. We'll get a frenzy follow-up into another 3-die. And gets a push out of this as well. I think that's it. Oh no, Blitz is still on the table. Still has a Blitz. Blitz with the Minotaur. 3-die Blitz. Ajax has done such a great job with these big guys in this game. Gets nothing out of it. That'll be the game. 1-1 the final. Oh, the GG foul. The GG foul. Doesn't get anything out of it. 1-1 the final. Very well played. What a fun match that was. My goodness. Whew. And with that, Ajax and the Fishy Fiends are going to remain in first place and remain undefeated. They picked up a draw here in week 3. 2-1-0 is their record. And the Birds of a Feather, they are now in second place. The Selvin Union team 1-2-0. They have 5 total points. You get 3 for a win, 1 for a draw. Very well played by both coaches. My goodness. So much fun. Let's take a look at the schedule before we leave. Man, this game's great. Coming up next, tomorrow night, we've got a doubleheader-ish. Starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's UTC -5. That's going to be the Lizard Wizard Gizfest versus Boliv Broncos. Malik versus BB Nut. That's Norse versus something. Let's see. Norse versus Nurgle. Norse versus Nurgle. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. And then about an hour later, so we'll probably catch most of the first game if it's a real fun, close game, like a really hype game. We'll probably watch the entirety of the first game. If not, we'll skip over to the second game at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. And that's going to be the Blitzburg Steelers versus the Gutterballs. JD Whitey versus El Nubarino. And that's going to be Skaven versus Orc. That's going to be a fun one as well. That's Adge versus Bash. 2 fun games tomorrow night. Tuesday night, February 25th, we have a single matchup that's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Odin It's Snuffle versus Tizork Savage Boys, Clypheus versus Tizzle Bizzle, Norse versus Orc. And then next Sunday, March 2nd, we have a doubleheader which will more than likely close out the week. That will be the Goodest Boys Strike Back versus Dinnerbell Darlings, Old Gamer Mike versus Doug, the Minotaur Necro versus Dwarves, and the Disco Masters versus Wooden Men and Iron Trees. Ian versus S. Beaver, that's Necro versus Wood Elves. 3 games left to be scheduled in this week. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB. Here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game is absolutely fantastic. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and a tabletop forum at your friendly local game store. And of which I've discovered Warhammer stores exist again. Games Workshop stores exist in my area, and probably in yours too, so check them out. Until tomorrow night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening.